Hey, what is going on everyone, Sunny Decre here. In this video I'm going to present you the future for Bitcoin, the Lightning Network. In this presentation I want to bring a few points a little bit closer to those people who are new into cryptocurrencies and for those who never really heard about this second layer solution. Why and for what do we even need a solution? Well, maybe you heard already that Bitcoin is slow, not that many transactions can be processed per second, and in this graphic you can see how bad the actual situation is. The transaction verification time on Bitcoin is 1 hour plus. On Ethereum, which is a second generation cryptocurrency, only 2 minutes plus, and on Ripple only 4 seconds. Traditional systems, like an international payment for example, 3 up to 5 days. Also, the possible throughput is way higher in other cryptocurrencies. On Ripple there are 1,500 transactions per second possible. On Ethereum 15 transactions per second, and on Bitcoin so far only 3 up to 6 transactions per second. If you compare this to Visa, Visa has a maximum capacity of around 56,000 transactions per second. Well, of course right now the demand for that many transactions is not there yet, but as you can see the Bitcoin network is growing very fast, so we have to be prepared. The more unconfirmed transactions that are piled up, the more your wallet will charge as a fee. If you have a wallet which does that automatically, that will automatically go up, because when the pool is getting bigger, the chances for your transaction to go through is lower. So what the wallet does is it charges an additional fee, so the miners are incentivized more to confirm your transactions. So obviously the transactions with the high fees are going to get processed faster. But yeah, in an ideal world, you don't have an unconfirmed transaction at all. One possible solution for the scaling problem is to increase the block sizes. Bitcoin Cash did that and forked off the original Bitcoin main chain. The thing is that core Bitcoin developers and also supporters think that, well, that's not really the best solution, because in 1 year, 2 year or whatever, we basically have to do the same thing again and just increase the block sizes again. So this is a solution which is not scaling very well. And this is why we need a second layer solution off-chain, which is the Lightning Network. Here this article from Wikipedia, the Lightning Network is a scaling solution to the Bitcoin scalability problem that was deployed in January 2018. The network would use an off-chain protocol and is currently under development. It would feature a peer-to-peer system for making micropayments of digital cryptocurrency through a scale-free network of bidirectional payment channels without delegating custody of funds or trust to third parties. Basically, we don't want to make the blocks bigger, we don't want to make the tunnel wider. What we want to do is we want to reduce the throughput and do transactions off-chain. Now, how does a regular Bitcoin transaction work? Well, if Bob wants to send funds to Alice, if he does it once, there's going to be one transaction in the blockchain. If he's going to do it a second time, there will be a second transaction in the blockchain. If Alice is sending something back to Bob, there will be a third one, and so on. Every time that Bob wants to send funds to Alice, he has to create, or his wallet has to create, a signature. That signature is a function created by your message, that is the transaction basically, and also the private key. Well, if Bob in here sends funds to Alice, it only needs his signature. But if they want to open up a bidirectional payment channel, well, they need both signatures. Just see that as a little side note in here. So here is how a Lightning Network transaction or a Lightning Network process works. So at the beginning, when Bob and Alice, when they decide they want to open up a payment channel, what they're going to do is they broadcast that to the blockchain, and then they're doing all their trades, okay? So every time Bob sends funds to Alice, she sends it back, and so on. Everything is getting tracked, but not on the blockchain. And at the end, when they're gonna close the payment channel again, then they're gonna broadcast their balances back to the blockchain, and everything is in order. And once again, everything that happens in here does not touch the blockchain at all. So if you think about the tunnel again, we're not gonna widen the tunnel in here, we're actually gonna reduce the throughput with Lightning Network. All the transactions which are made in these payment channels, they do not need any space on the blockchain at all, only for opening up and closing the channel. Now that was pretty much the Lightning part. Now we're gonna talk about the network part because the word is made out of Lightning and network. Now think about this situation in here. These lines in here, they're all payment channels. This here is not a private person. Let's just say that's an exchange or a so-called hub in the Lightning Network. Now person A in here has a channel to person B, and person B has a channel to this hub. Now person A is automatically connected over B with all these other people and also the hub. If the funding of the payment channel between person A and B is only 0.5 Bitcoin, but the funding between person B and the hub is 1 Bitcoin, well, this transaction in here, or this volume in here which can get sent or received, is only 0.5 Bitcoin max. So this channel funding in here is the bottleneck for person A in this network. Now some people in the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash community, they're bringing up arguments that this will lead to centralization. I really don't want to go into detail in this argument in here. If you guys are interested in both sides, I definitely recommend to watch this video over here, which is basically saying that this leads to decentralization, and also this statement in here from Anton Antonopoulos, where he's answering or clarifying that statement. Maybe one of the most interesting questions for you guys: when will the Lightning Network go live? Well, the answer to that question is it already is. This is the testnet in here with currently 1056 nodes, 3511 channels. When this video was recorded on the Bitcoin mainnet, 110 number of nodes and 255 number of channels. If you guys like that content and if you want to see more, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a good one.